Hey, it's just Randy from Funeral Funds of America. In this video, I'm going to show you the actual pricing for $15,000 worth of burial, cremation, final expense, life insurance, or funeral funds for a 77-year-old female. Now, first thing I recommend is just go directly to our website at funeralfunds.com, and we've got these free quoters on just about every page. Just select the state that you live in. We are licensed in all 50 states, by the way. Select the coverage amount that you want, and then you enter your birthday and the rest of this info. Click Get Quotes Now, and it will take you to a page that's going to show you all the best insurance companies and all the best rates for the coverage that you selected. And this will help you do two things. Number one, it's going to help you avoid those plans you see advertised on TV and junk mail and magazines where they offer you a super low teaser rate. And then when you call them up, you find out it's for almost no coverage, and then they try upselling you to a policy that's more profitable for them. So we don't recommend that. And it will also help you avoid those policies that have 2-year waiting periods where they can be a lot of times up to 200% more expensive than first day coverage. Now, the first thing you need to understand as a 77-year-old female is that $15,000 going to be adequate for your final expense needs? And typically that final expense need would be either cremation or burial. Now, the average cost of cremation right now in the United States is between $1,000 to $2,000. That's if you just come home in a cardboard box or an urn. If you're going to have some sort of a ceremony, like a celebration of life or remembrance ceremony in addition to the cremation, that's probably going to be $3,500 to $4,500. So coverage-wise, for that cremation where you come home in the cardboard box or an urn, we would typically recommend around $5,000 to $7,000 worth of coverage. Now, you might be saying, well, hold on, the cremation's $2,000. Why are we getting $5,000? Well, because you're 77 years old, and we're hoping you get to 87. And we just know that pricing goes up in the future due to inflation. And we want to make sure that once you get this policy, especially at age 77, that it's going to be the last policy you ever have to get and worry about. So we build in a little bit extra coverage in there just in case you do live a long time. That inflation proofs the plan. And, God forbid if you died sooner and you thought there's a little extra money in there to take care of some other final expenses or bills that you just may not have time to pay off, maybe even medical bills or something like that. So that, again, we'd recommend $5,000 to $7,000 for that. Now, if you're going to have the cremation in the ceremony, we would typically recommend around $7,000 to $10,000. Again, inflation-proof the plan, kind of for the very much the same reasons we did the one just before. Now, if you're going to have a burial, the average cost of a burial right now in the United States is probably around $10,000. I mean, if you walk into a funeral home, pretty much anywhere in the United States with a $10,000 check, they'll get it done for you. It's not going to be anything fancy, but they should be able to get it done. And it's hard to imagine that they would say no and let that $10,000 check walk out the door and go down to one of their competitors 2 blocks down. But just understand, even at that, $10,000 is a very simple, frugal ceremony at this point. So we would typically recommend somewhere between $10,000 to $15,000. Some people might want to go $20,000, but it just depends. If you've got a history of longevity in your family, people living to 100, that might be appropriate. But the other thing too is, the people that we help have fixed or limited incomes, and a lot of times getting, that all that extra coverage is just a little bit out of their means. So just keep in mind, you can always start at $10,000. We can always add $5,000 coverage later. And that would get you up to that total of $15,000. Now, some people would say, hey, I want to leave some money behind for my family, so I want $30,000, $40,000, $50,000. Well, at age 77, that gets to be a little expensive. And it's always sad when somebody says, well, if I can't get $50,000 and I can't afford that, I'm not going to do anything at all. Well, now you just placed all this burden on your family members. And just, we didn't just encourage you to be, even at age 77, a little bit more mature than that, even though you are mature. But yeah, just get the $10,000 if that's what's appropriate and fits your budget, because that will help your family so much when you do pass away. Now, one thing we always recommend getting is first day coverage or benefits. And what this means is that hypothetically, if your policy were approved and issued today and you died tomorrow, the insurance company would have to pay that $15,000 check out to your beneficiaries. So that's first day coverage. We do not recommend 2-year waiting period plans. I'm going to get to that in a moment here, but yeah, we don't recommend that. But yeah, the first day coverage is the best coverage. That's exactly what you want. Now, a lot of people would say, hey, I do like that first day coverage, but I'm not in the best of health, and I'm worried that I won't qualify. And to that we say, hey, your health is our problem, not your problem, especially, I guess, when it comes to this insurance. And that's why we work with so many different insurance companies, because they all ask different health questions and they all have different underwriting. And really 95% of the time right now, we're getting people first day coverage or benefits. Really, the only reason we wouldn't be able to is if you had some really significant health issues, like you had terminal illness or dementia, or you're on dialysis or in the hospital or in the nursing home or something like that. If that were the case, we would probably refer you out to a different insurance company. Now, one also thing that just seems to happen on a weekly basis is somebody will call up and say, hey, we had a family member pass away this last week and they didn't have insurance and we don't have any money. And now their body's down at the funeral home, but the funeral home's not going to do anything until they get a check in the funeral director's hand. So we need to get this insurance really quick so that we can get a check in our hand to get the funeral home guy paid. And we have to let them know that there is no insurance company in the United States that's going to pay out or issue a policy on a dead person. They'll pay out on a dead person if the policy was in place, while they were alive. But yeah, you can't get an insurance policy on somebody after the fact, after they're dead. And it's really sad that the person who passed away didn't take care of this. They knew they were going to die someday. They probably thought about getting this insurance, and they just never got around to it. And time just snuck on them and up on them, and they just done went and died. So what a terrible legacy to leave behind, because what generally happens is the family's got to pay for this. They put it on credit cards, and now they're getting charged 26% interest on something that you should have taken care of and protected them from that burden. So don't be that person that leaves that terrible legacy behind. Just take care of this. The insurance is affordable. If you can't get everything you want, just get what you can afford right now. We can always help you add more coverage later. Now, one thing we don't recommend is those plans with 2-year waiting periods. And, Colonial Penn's a fairly well-known company out there. I think just strictly because they advertise so much on TV. It seems like they've got commercials going every 7 minutes. And a lot of people don't know that $9.95 plan is a 2-year waiting period. Yikes, right? Yeah. But Colonial Penn's not the only one that offers those plans with 2-year waiting periods. Mutual of Omaha, their United of Omaha line, AIG, Gerber, gosh, just a whole bunch of other different companies out there offer those plans with 2-year waiting periods only. And a lot of those companies out there have done an amazing job at convincing the American public that the only thing they're going to qualify for, once they're over age 50, is a plan with a 2-year waiting period, to which we always say, don't believe such nonsense, because we help people with first day coverage all day long. Now, a lot of females age 77, when they see that Colonial Penn $9.95 commercial, they're probably thinking, ooh, baby, I outsmarted Colonial Penn. I waited to age 77, and now I'm going to get my $9.95 coverage. And, they're probably thinking they're going to get $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, maybe even $50,000 at age 77 for our female. And then she calls Colonial Penn and talks with an agent or goes to their website like we've done and sees that a female age 77 for 1 unit of coverage, which is $9.95, is only going to buy $689 worth of coverage. Now that's not even enough for a cremation at any place that we know in the United States. So you're already kind of behind the 8 ball there, but also consider this plan has a 2-year waiting period that's not going to pay out in the next 2 years if you die of any health or medical reason. So why would you get a plan that's just, it's deficient from the very first day? I just don't know. There's a lot of people out there that would say that, these companies that offer these low teaser rates, they do so not to sell you that coverage. They do that to actually just get you interested and get you to call in or get your personal info so that they can call you and then present that lower price, and you will see how ridiculously low it is. And then from there, they will upsell you. They will try to upsell you into a plan with more coverage that's more profitable for them. And, you know, we would never say that about Colonial Penn, but we're just letting you know some people do say that. And I guess you may want to make that judgment yourself based off kind of the coverage amount you're going to get for $9.95. But let's look at this. Let's look at 15,000, see if we can even get that much. The challenge is it's per unit, and they max out. Colonial Penn maxes out at 15 units. Yeah, so we're maxed out at 15 units, and the only thing you can get is $10,335. So that's not going to do the 15,000 you want. So automatically, it's not looking great for you here. But let's go over and look at some first day coverage and see what that would look like and see if we can save you some money. Let's go take a look. So here we go. 15,000 for a female, age 77. We're going to get quote, boom, right there. And again, this is getting you around 10,000 for $150. And you look right here. I want to show you this. I want to show you. This is not a trick. $15,000 in first day coverage. You can get that for right around $122, $123. So look at that. You're getting 15,000 for like 123. There's certain companies we would recommend just because they have more approvals, or they're easier to get approved, or they're just easier to deal with. That kind of would be the case here, in our opinion anyway. But yeah, so 15,000 for 123. Would you rather have that, or would you rather have 10,335 for 150 basically? Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to do roundabout math. That's $25 more a month, roughly. And just think about that. But think about that for a moment. If you go with Colonial Penn, they will overcharge you $25 more a month, you know, based off going with a different insurance company. And you'll have to pay that $25 a month every single month for the rest of your life. So that's $25 a month times 12 months, that's $300 a year. And then after 10 years, if you live to age 87, you will have overpaid right around $3,000. Why would you ever give that much money to an insurance company and overpay and then have a 2-year waiting period? It makes no sense to us at all. So, and also just keep in mind, yeah, you don't want that 2-year waiting period. That really puts you at risk at age 77 for the next 2 years. So yeah, lots of money to be saved. Just be a smart consumer. If you're not sure how to be a smart consumer in this area, just let us know. We can help you be that smart consumer. But let's look at some other different companies out here. Go down a little bit, and you'll be able to see all these different insurance companies. Well, here's one like Lumico. I mean, they're level coverage, but they're about $40 more a month. So let's do the math on that. $48 a month times 12 is $480 times 10 years. You'd overpay roughly $4,800, almost $5,000 you'd overpay after just 10 years on a $15,000 plan. Makes no sense. You know, you lock in your savings from the very first day once you get lower rates. So don't overpay. Let's look at it out. Well, here's another company, Lincoln Heritage. They're a fine company, I guess, but I mean, look at that pricing, $180. Ouch. It is level coverage, but it's still $180. Ouch, right? Well, why is that so much? Well, Lincoln Heritage has a deal where when you pass away, they will supposedly call 2 or 3 different funeral homes and maybe, you know, supposedly get the lowest pricing, and they may do a couple other things, but they charge for that. It's not free. You know, you're going to pay for that extra premium, and you're going to overpay, you know, every single month for the rest of your life. So that's 180 versus 123. So Lincoln Heritage is like right around $57 more a month. So if we go 57 times 12, you know, for 1 year, you would be overpaying $684 in that first year. And if you live 10 years, our female lives up to age 87, would be overpaying roughly right around $6,840 more, you know, on a $15,000 plan. So why would you ever do that? Why would you ever overpay? Now, even if you just wanted them to call some funeral homes and stuff, that's a pretty great payday, you know, to pay them $6,840 roughly to make 2 or 3 phone calls and do a couple other things that may only take an hour or so to do. So we don't recommend that. What we actually do is recommend go with the lower price insurance company, and then we provide free of charge a free Funeral and Estate Planning Guide. You just download that off our website and you print that out, and then you complete it. You fill it out. You write down who gets what and what goes where and what you want to happen after you're gone. And then you keep that right where your insurance policy is. You keep those two together. And then when you pass away, your family's got everything they need. And they're not only protected financially with the insurance policy, but also emotionally with the Funeral and Estate Planning Guide. Because all they have to do is open that thing up, read what you said, and then just execute your wishes. And they don't need to worry about a thing. They can do everything exactly as you wanted it. And you've provided them the money to do that. And what a wonderful gift to leave behind. What a wonderful legacy to leave behind. They will know that you loved them not only in life, but you actually loved and protected them in death when you weren't around. And that's actually when they're going to need you the most. And this is just one way to protect your family kind of from beyond the grave. So anyway, go to Funeral Funds of America. We've got a special quote for our YouTube viewers, funeralfunds.com/YouTube. You can get the most discounts and the best rates there. You can also call us at 888-862-9456, and one of our agents can help you. But, you know, if you've got an existing policy and you want to price shop it to make sure you're getting the best deal, or you just want to add coverage to that, we can help you out with that. If you're looking for brand new coverage, or you just have questions about what's going to be best for you or what you might qualify for or anything else, we can help you out with that. But we look forward to helping you get the most amount of coverage for the least amount of money. And we'll just look forward to actually being a blessing to you in the future. And until that day comes, you stay safe, you take care, you have a nice day. Bye-bye.